it's Carrie here. Now this was going to be your morning warm-up, but I decided to practice on myself, and the release that you're going to get from this work today, it can be so huge that it can make you feel a bit woo, woo-hoo-hoo. So rather than thinking of it as your warm-up, maybe we should be thinking of it as your cool down into the end of the day. So it's lunchtime now, so we're all good for that. We're heading into the cool down. Right, so I want you to consider all of this tissue here. So we're looking at the covering of all your neck muscles. It's called the platysma. It's a really, really cool thing that takes a lot of pressure. So if you think about modern life, that we spend a lot of time concentrating on screens, which gives us a head start. That look, you know, driving, texting, all of that stuff takes your butt out of the equation, which means that you lose power in your forward movement. So opening up here is a really good thing to do, especially as well if you have migraines, if you have headaches, if you have neck pain, if you feel like you're getting a Dowger's hump, you know, where that bit here starts to like get kind of lumpy bumpy, then working the front of your neck is super important. As we go through the technique, I'm going to give you a couple of more insights into what the platysma and those front of neck muscles can also be implicated in and what they can mean for you. That's easy for me to say. Okay, so this is a myofascial release. We're also going to bring in a little bit of muscle activation, but first we're going to do myofascial work. Now, what I want you to think about is the level of touch you are going to use. You want to keep the touch tacky. So I don't want to see any, see, like this is a two-way street. I don't want to see any grabbing. I don't want to see any squeezing. What I want you to think about is that when you put your hand on your skin, that there's no slide, that it's just kind of anchored, just a little bit of tackiness. Okay, so one hand is going to stay as your anchor. So if you see here, collarbone, collarbone, and my fingers are underneath these two collarbones. So keep that hand anchored nice and low, and this second hand is going to be your working hand, and you're going to bring it up your neck, but you're going to do it really slowly. Slowly and stealthily is going to get you better results than gripping and grabbing and setting your nervous system off in a fight or a flight. So the neck is a sensitive area. Also, when we apply pressure around here, we don't want to feel like we're throttling ourselves, and we certainly don't want to feel as though we are in a vulnerable position. So keeping this hand anchored nice and low, this hand is going to come. Now see if you can settle the palm of your hands on your skin. So it might mean, like I've just done, that you wiggle this bottom hand down a little bit further because you want this hand to be able to connect in the heel of your hand, so this lower part of your portion of your hand. Okay, so anchoring with your low hand, then your upper hand is just going to make a connection into the tissue, and you're just going to very gently rest your fingers. Don't wrap your fingers around, don't squeeze, just rest. Okay, so we're going to work stealthily. So the idea is, as your upper hand, you're working with the intention of moving up towards your chin, but you're going to go really lightly when you get up here. She says, trying to squeeze her two hands back into the space. You're going to just allow that upper hand to move towards your chin, keeping your lower hand anchored down. You're not trying to rip the space between your hands free and open. You just want to let the area be under tension but soft. Okay, so keep those hands tacky. Now, you might be wondering why I put that this could also be good for your stress levels. Okay, so consider a couple of things. One of the main areas of muscle activation for your diaphragm, so we like to use our diaphragm when we are breathing deeply. When we're breathing deeply, it helps us switch across from the stressed out part of our nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, into the relaxed area of our nervous system, which is the parasympathetic nervous system. So by rubbing these points, we improve the connection connection between the brain and whichever muscle those points are connected to. So when we're talking about the sternum, which is the breastbone, so both of the heels of your hands at this point, if you're doing this with me, are sitting on your sternum. When you're doing that, then you are getting your brain to think about breathing more deeply. You're getting your brain to think about those activation points. Okay, so as you feel the tissue to start to soften, you're going to allow that upper hand to float up, remaining tacky and in contact with the skin of your neck. When you are breathing more in your diaphragm and you are switching yourself into a more relaxed state, you stop producing adrenaline and you also stop producing cortisol. So if you find that you are unable to get your breath deeper, rub your sternum and also do this neck release. If you find that if you meditate or if you do yoga and you find that you can't connect into that low breath, then you could probably be doing this. As I said before, it's also great for getting your butt working because it brings your head into a more neutral position on your head, on your neck even. You'll also find that you start to just feel, you may notice your breathing dropping in. You may also notice that you start to feel more comfortable on your sit bones. So if you're sat on the floor as I am at the moment, you'll feel that you feel more grounded, that those points of your pelvis make more contact with the ground, which is always a good thing. Okay, my loves, so this is today's simple little exercise. You're just going to keep working till you come all the way up to the top. Now I'm going to bring my hand up higher quicker. This is going to take about 5 to 10 minutes for most of you, I'm guessing. Don't rush it. If it feels like it's slow, it's because it needs to be slow. It needs you to be there and be focused. So when you get up here, try and keep the heel of your hand in contact around your hyoid area and your thyroid here. But remember, you're not pushing, you're not shoving, you're just making contact, tacky contact. Coming up to this area around here, you've got a lot of lymphatic nodes. So you need to be really super gentle, okay? And just come on up. Cool. So that is your little warm up or warm down for today. And I will catch you on the next one. See you later. Bye.